I'm Hector. As you heard, I've been a developer or a web developer since 13. I'm going to talk about building a global startup and the hurdles and things like that. But before I go into what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to tell you a bit of a story about when I was 15 and moved over to Cyprus from South Africa. I didn't speak a lot of Greek. There wasn't a lot of information for English-speaking people on the internet. I saw a gap. I'm like, yes, I'm a young entrepreneur. I'm going to go out and build a business. What happened was everybody, sorry if I'm moving around a lot, the cameras have to follow me. What happened though was everybody started telling me how special I was. I was a 15-year-old wonder kid who could build websites. On the one side, that's spectacular. It's very good. It's very, good for someone's ego to be told you're special. However, the hidden fact is that when you're special, prices are very, very elevated. A lot of the people you have to deal with, a lot of the partners you have to negotiate with are very, very tough because you're special. The problem was, I'm not special. Around the world, every day, there are hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs who have a great idea. They've spotted a gap, they want to enter a market, but they kept getting told, you are special. And because you are special, bam, all of these things suddenly have to be uniquely defined for them. This is a problem because it pushes a lot of people away from entrepreneurship. It pushes a lot of people into the idea that I'm not good enough, I'm not special enough, etc. But that was about 10 years ago. Since then, I went into consulting. I've decided I wanted to become an angel investor. That's what I wanted to do. That way, I could help entrepreneurs who actually were special avoid all these traps. We got to Cyprus, built up a company, everything was going great. However, last year the economy collapsed, and I decided that it was time to go back to the roots, going back to helping entrepreneurs from the bottom, wherever they were, build cool businesses. What I've done over the last year is spoken to hundreds of entrepreneurs around the world, and using the information that I've spoken to them about, I've put together 8 hurdles that entrepreneurs around Europe have faced, and from myself as well, in trying to build a global business from Europe. There is a lot of points in there that people might not agree with. There's a lot of points in there that probably will piss people off. My Twitter handle is down the bottom left. Send me complaints, please. If you disagree with me, that's fine. On that note, I need help, not because I'm crazy, but because I don't know what's happening in every single ecosystem. I don't know what bothers you. I don't know what affects a startup in the middle of Siberia. I do not. So if you do know, tell me. Help us, join us. We are looking for startup ambassadors around the world to join the Included mission to help us bring our global platform for discovery of entrepreneurial-friendly packages to the market. So with this note, take in mind that I don't have all the answers. What I'm telling you now, the 8 hurdles I'm telling you, is what I've faced myself, what the people have told me within our network, and how we try to face and knock down those hurdles as we go forward. The good thing is, it's only 8 hurdles. We'll probably finish a little bit early, and we can all go and have a coffee afterwards. So, bear with me, 8 hurdles. I'll also try and avoid the topic of funding. There are so many great investors and VC companies in this building, in this event. Please go and speak to them. We're a bootstrapped startup. We've always been a bootstrapped startup. We will raise later, so I'm not the right person to tell you about funding. Yes, it's a big problem, but I'm not going to touch it. So, moving swiftly on. Hurdle number 1, everyone likes to talk about risk and how entrepreneurs need to be risk hungry and they have to be hungry and foolish and take the risks and destroy the industries. However, what we've heard from across Europe is it's very, very hard to find risk hungry employees. People are very, very happy to join big established corporations rather than startups. Mostly because of, obviously, it's a more steady job, it's a more steady lifestyle. However, what we've started doing and experimenting with in the UK is packing up all these startups in our network with perks. If we can give enough perks to balance out the equation, to make joining a startup more or less risky, maybe we can put more and more people into startups, more and more of that great talent that people are struggling to get hold of. Ask startups in London, they cannot get enough developers. Ask startups here in Poland, you cannot get enough developers. How do we get the startups to join these communities? We're hoping that it's through extra perks, extra packages. If you've got ideas, there's a Twitter account. Please tell us, let us know what you've done right. What we've done is, as I said, perks. We pack everything up with perks. You want cheaper food, you want cheaper accommodation, you want cheaper flights, cheaper hotels. It's all there. Just join a startup. That's all we're asking. The second pretty much hurdle is it's very, very different to scale in Europe compared to the US and Asia and the rest of the world. We keep hearing this. However, if we take this problem as an advantage, you're setting up a block that your foreign competitors won't be able to unlock. If you can figure out how to unlock each and every culture in Europe to use your product in a specific way, you are putting yourself as you're putting a big separation between anyone else trying to enter your market. This is what we've seen. This is what we're doing. We're currently hiring startup ambassadors in every single region that we can to give us a hands-on approach to what do startups need in every space. What do startups need that is different from space to space? Using this, we believe, and so from what we've seen, we're pushing ourselves further and further away from any competition entering the current market that we're in. Because every market that we unlock is a further step forward that we take. So yeah, it's a unique approach. This is one of my favorite points, is the TMC, too much craziness. Again and again and again, you're told in the media, you're told in the by people, startup talks and books, you can build billion-dollar companies. But how many have actually gone out and told somebody, I want to start a billion-dollar company? What was that reaction? What did they tell you? Did they give you that shock of, yeah, but be more realistic? Be a little bit, as I said, realistic. You can't really compete with the Uber. You can't really compete with Facebook. And there's a lot of disbelief in whether we can actually build billion-dollar companies in Europe. We can. It's been done. Look around you. There's great examples here in Poland as well. This is one of the points that we personally have felt. It hit us really, really hard. Everybody tries to be a sexy startup. One of the things that you got to realize is not many startups will be sexy, and that is fine. We're not a sexy startup. The media doesn't like us. Most competitions, we will never win. We are not a sexy startup, and that is fine, because we know we're doing this so that 100,000 other sexy startups can see the light of day. And that is fine with us. So find a mission that's better or more meaningful to you than being sexy. On the same note is you have to solve a real problem. I mean, I don't know what stage everybody is in the room, but if you're not solving a problem that is personal to you or that you are willing to pay for it to be solved, find something else. Hurdle number 5 is the flag and gap. Every single corporation in the world right now is waving their flag of how they are entrepreneur friendly. Every single company in every single ecosystem is giving away free stuff. Sorry. However, all of this free stuff comes with a special clause. As soon as you start making money, you start receiving invoices, which puts you back to -1. Whereas if you were paying traditionally along the way, or not traditionally, but in a way that made sense to you, maybe you would have a better growth scale. We don't know. This is why we had included our experimenting. What we've started doing is packaging services together. We went to a big city law firm and told them to give us fixed price packages. An entrepreneur needs to know that I'm going to spend X amount and I'm going to get from A to B or from B to C. I don't want to keep paying every month and suddenly receive an invoice when I'm trying to close a round and get lost in my mind. And will it work? We hope so. This is what we're doing. We're pumping out fixed price packages for accounting, travel, law. Anything we can, we are trying to put into fixed friendly packages. And hopefully that will knock down this hurdle. Hurdle number 6 in Europe is one of the points that is very, very interesting, because it exists in Poland and also exists in London and everywhere else, everyone is sort of trying to compete with each other or trying to become the Silicon Valley of something. However, this splits businesses, it splits communities. People who should be working together are instead trying to outdo each other. Startups in Krakow are trying to be better than startups in Warsaw. Startups in Manchester are trying to make a better ecosystem than the startups in London. Whereas surely they should be looking for synergies instead of looking for who's better at what. Through Included, we're trying to experiment with connecting co-working spaces around Europe to try and form these synergies. And we're hoping with that we'll be able to knock down that hurdle as well. And hurdle number 7 is probably one of the most important ones, but not the last one. So we're almost done, guys, awesome. Hurdle number 7 is sharing. I am here sharing with you. I'm not ready to share with you. We're a very, very early stage company, but I believe that if I can help one person in this room and you can help another person, that's good enough. Serendipity is there. So even if I succeed, I will keep sharing. Even if I don't, I will keep sharing. And I hope that sets a good ground for the next talk, which is about all the questions that you didn't want to ask or couldn't ask about being in a startup. Hurdle number 8, which is our final hurdle, is just loneliness. People love saying that it's okay to fail, but no one says it's okay to be worried or scared or showing weakness of any kind. We openly state that we don't know exactly where we're going, but we have a vision, we have a goal that we want to help startups around the world, and the pieces are coming together. I believe if more people could show that they are open to this kind of sharing, maybe there'll be a lot less lonely and a lot less stressed entrepreneurs around the world and a lot less stressed teams. Just to finish off, I said I'll be fast, and that was it. They're just hurdles. We can bash them down or jump over them. Don't let them stop you. And please, if you have any questions, do let me know.
If you have a question, please raise your hand. Okay.
Hi. You have very good goals. But how you want to manage it, how to achieve that goals? Because it's very interesting to hear, but I haven't heard any direct action.
Thank you.
To make it short, where's the beef?
Where's the beef? It's a very good question, and I apologize. I'm very excited to be in Poland for the first time, so I really rushed through my presentation. I'll probably get better at that as I go down the line. However, what we've done so far, which probably answer your question, is we started connecting as many co-working spaces as we could. We reached out, we wanted to get 20 co-working spaces in under 6 months into our network to then try and get the businesses within those spaces to work together, to start doing business together. At the same time, use the negotiating buying power that we had from those 20 spaces to push down prices on things that all entrepreneurs need, to make them feel that although they are special, they shouldn't pay special rates. They should pay rates that make sense to entrepreneurs to keep growing their businesses. So we got up to 30-ish spaces. We're now at 35, 36 spaces around the world, and we're busy experimenting with how do we get a startup in Hong Kong to sell services to a startup in Krakow, then startup in Krakow selling services to a startup in London. Once we get that right, which we're getting pretty close, we're getting to a point now where it's starting to make more sense, and on the website explains a lot better than I do, unfortunately, right now. However, that's where we are so far, and that's where we'll be going towards, making communities more connected through business transactions. Thank you.